your mic is on.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hey, Sarge.
Hey, you can drop it in there.
Thank you.
Good. You're good now.
Okay, does anybody need more time? No? Okay. Yeah, no problem. One more?
I'll put it in the same one. I'll put it
Okay.
in the same. Okay.
And I'll be straight. Hey, Sergeant, I'll be straight.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody need more time? Okay.
It's inside.
Okay, are we all ready? All right. I'm Sergeant Justus with the Phoenix Police Department Public Affairs Bureau. We're out here at about 39th Avenue and Baseline at Cesar Chavez High School. Today, just before 3 p.m., the Phoenix Police Department received a call of a shooting at this location. Our officers responded and found a juvenile male suffering from a gunshot wound. That male was transported to the hospital, and his injuries at this time are believed to be non-life threatening. What we learned is just after school released, so a little bit after 2:50 p.m., there was an altercation in one of the bathrooms here on campus when the student was shot. We believe this to be an isolated incident. This was not an active shooter. The suspect is still outstanding right now. Our detectives are working on developing information as to who that person is and where they are. But again, we don't believe that this is anything that poses an immediate risk. We believe this was an isolated incident. Detectives are going to be out here for the next several hours. They've interviewed people who were on scene. They're going to be speaking with the victim as soon as medical staff allow them to, and they'll be speaking with school as well. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, so there were two questions. One was which hospital, and the second one was, can I confirm whether the juvenile male that was shot is a student? We're not going to confirm what hospital the male went to, but I will confirm that the juvenile victim is a student here at this high school.
Can you confirm the accused shooter was also a student?
So two questions again. Do we have an age, and if we can confirm if the shooter was a student as well? I believe the victim is 16 years old, a junior at this high school. Right now, that's whether or not the shooter is a student here, that's something our investigators are looking into. Right now, we just don't know. It's very early in the investigation, as you can imagine. So that's something our detectives are certainly looking into.
And it is early. Now, how did a gun get inside the school? Are there metal detectors? All that, like, how did a gun get inside the school?
So the question was, are there metal detectors at this school, and how did a gun get inside of the school? I don't know the answer to that question. That would be a great question for this school. Even with metal detectors, oftentimes they fail, and things like this, can occur in situations like that.
Was there a weapon found on campus?
The question was there a weapon found on campus? We have not recovered a weapon yet. So one thing that I would like to ask is to parents and students out there, if you guys see something, or if you become aware of a weapon on campus, let someone know right away. Call 911, let the school know. It's important for everybody's safety. Even if you hear a rumor that someone at school has a gun, please, for everybody's safety, let us know right away. So the question is there a school resource officer on this campus? This high school does not have a school resource officer assigned to this campus. I can tell you that they employ what's called a school safety officer, which is they are housed off-site, and they are basically just dedicated to the school to come take a report after the fact if something occurs. So two questions. One question was, is there an SSO at this school? And then whether or not the school, again, had metal detectors. There is a school safety officer assigned to the school. However, they're not housed on campus, so they were not here at the time. I don't know if the school has metal detectors on campus. That would be a question for the school.
Suspect's age? Do you have that at all?
Suspect's age, I don't have that other than somewhere between 16 and 25.
Do you think that the suspect was a student, or can you make
So the question again is whether or not the suspect's a student. Really early in the investigation, that's certainly something our detectives are going to look into. The shooting occurred within minutes of school release, but at this time we just can't confirm whether or not the shooter is a student.
I know school release gets out, it's kind of crazy, kind of hectic. What is that like? When an active shooter like that, trying to make sure all the other kids are safe, gets out, there's not a lockdown protocol at that time.
So the question was the fact that at the time of school release, it's very chaotic, and what's that like for responding since there's not a lockdown? I can tell you it's chaotic. When our officers get there, there's people, in every direction. It's mass chaos, and our officers do the best they can to calm everybody down. The school is also equipped with security. They did a great job working with officers as soon as we got here. Once we realized that there was no longer a threat on campus, we worked with school officials to safely remove the remaining kids to a different location for parents to pick them up.
How did school leaders learn about the shooting if school was out and we don't have SROs?
So the question was, how did the school leaders learn of the shooting since there's no SROs? I can't answer that with any information I received, other than I'm sure that there were security guards nearby. I'm sure somebody heard it and likely reported it. I think there was a question over here. Okay.
Is there school cameras inside that you guys are reviewing? Do you know who the suspect is, even if you're not releasing the name? Who it is?
So I don't know if there are cameras on site. I know there are cameras in the area, and that's something our detectives are looking at. Actually, there are cameras on school campus, and our detectives are looking at that.
The suspect hasn't been identified yet, but how were you able to determine that there was no longer a threat on campus?
So the question was, if the suspect hasn't been identified yet, how were we able to determine there was no longer a threat on campus? So that's through talking to people who are on scene that gave directions of travel, looking at video surveillance and other means of looking into things like that.
So forward thinking for a story, right?
Okay, question was, where on campus did this happen? Kind of in the center of the school in one of the bathrooms, or right nearby a bathroom.
So forward thinking, I know it looks like nothing is going on. Investigators are working. Tell us, kind of illustrate, so we can tell people at home what's happening now.
Okay, so the question was, it doesn't look like there's a lot going on behind me, but there probably is, so can I explain what's happening? So we have detectives from our Violent Crimes Assault Bureau that are coming out here. We have crime scene investigators as well, and they're going to be processing the scene, looking through evidence, taking photographs, and kind of creating a map of what occurred. They're also going to be conducting interviews and, again, reviewing surveillance footage and talking to people from the school.
Where was the suspect shot? Do we know?
The question was, where was the suspect shot? I think you meant where was the victim shot. The victim received, I believe, 2 gunshot wounds. I don't know how many, but I know that they are non-life threatening. I don't know what part of the body they were on.
To your knowledge, Sergeant, is school going to be in session tomorrow as usual?
So again, that's going to be a question. The question was whether or not school is going to be in session for tomorrow. That'd be a great question for the school districts.
What challenge do you guys have? Because we know there is no threat, so there seems to be no immediate challenge, but you got a lot of terrain. You can't just focus on that. So tell us, what's the hard part about this particular investigation?
So the question was, what's the hard part of this investigation, not just the scene investigation itself? So there was a lot of people around. That's the hard part of this investigation, getting people to talk to us and tell us what they saw. That's always the hard part of any investigation. So the question was whether or not we can say that the suspect and victim knew each other. I don't know that yet. What I do know is there was some type of altercation in the bathroom immediately prior to the shooting between these 2 individuals.
Was there anyone else in the bathroom at the time?
The question was there anyone else in the bathroom at the time? I don't know if there was anyone in the bathroom or near, but I know there was people right outside of the bathroom.
School was never locked down.
The question was the school ever locked down? No, and the answer is no. By design, since they were already letting out, the safest thing to do then was to clear the school for any further threat and reunite the students with their families. Okay, so again, detectives are going to be out here for the next several hours. What also we're asking is if anybody knows anything, knows who was involved in this shooting, even just heard a rumor about something that was going to happen or did happen at the school today, please call the Phoenix Police Department. If you want to remain anonymous, you can call Silent Witness at 480-WITNESS or 480-TESTIGO for Spanish, and you can be eligible for a cash award. All right, thank you.